So, Charlie, now that the eviction moratorium is up, are you seeing more evictions being processed?
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, not really yet. Um, so on our side, we've had three evictions filed here in the last month or so since the eviction moratorium was finally overturned by the Supreme Court. The All three of those were kind of a long time coming. Ones that if it wasn't for the moratorium, we would have filed earlier on. So when we were able to finally, we did file on those three, and on two out of three of those, we actually got a court date relatively quickly, which is pretty good to see because clearly the concern would be that would start to be a flood of filings, and then the courts would be very backed up. But surprisingly, like I said, two out of three of those we got court dates relatively quickly. Now, both of those were in Montgomery County. The one that we're still waiting on is Harris County. So I think Harris County, which is a lot larger, clearly a lot more population and all. So I think Harris County, though, might be a little bit more backed up because we're still waiting on a date for the moratorium, or sorry, for the eviction court on that one. Now, I personally actually went earlier this week to the Montgomery eviction court because I also wanted to just see in general how things were going. And there were only four eviction hearings that day. So again, very surprising that I went expecting there to be probably a lot, expecting that it was going to take a few hours, but the court knocked them out very quickly. I think the reason that we're still not seeing a flood of these yet is because of all of the on off nature of this moratorium. It's been extended several times. It's been overturned once by the Supreme Court, then came back on and then overturned again. And when I was there, actually, the judge made a point in one of the eviction hearings to say, that the eviction moratorium is not on right now, but there's always potential that it comes back on. So the judge made a point to say that, to say, are you sure you want to move forward with this eviction, knowing that it still, is a risk, basically. So I think there's some hesitancy by landlords, by management companies to proceed with the evictions just because of that on-off nature that we've been going through for the last literally year and a half at this point. But just from what I'm understanding and seeing and everything, I don't expect the moratorium to come back on. So we felt confident enough to proceed, but I don't think a lot of landlords at this point are there yet.